Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ethan Tuttle.
And I'm Noelle Blumel. Thank you for joining us. You only get one 50th birthday, and for one Flagstaff high school baseball coach, Josh Hughes, it definitely wasn't the standard celebration.
No, Noelle, it definitely was not. I had the privilege of sitting down with his family and discussing the impact the community has had on the family through this difficult time.
You would normally find Josh Hughes in the dugout at Flagstaff High School. An assistant coach for the baseball team, Hughes and the Eagles have been enjoying one of their best seasons, currently at 20-7 overall and 10-2 in section play.
He's real passionate. He gets a little riled up sometimes. He just has a passion for the game. Nothing negative, always positive, really getting the kids up, trying to make them stay in the game, to be positive, work hard.
But just when you're expecting a fastball, life suddenly throws a curve. Hughes quickly went from the baseball diamond to the operating table, where he needed open heart surgery for an aortic root replacement.
I mean, we knew coming down in late March that he was having heart surgery, was going to be open heart, and that he would be in the hospital like 5 to 7 days. So we certainly were planning on, some level of rehab and things like that.
Due to complications with the left side of his heart following the original operation, Hughes would have to face another curveball. A baseball game can change with the crack of a bat. Well, life isn't much different, as assistant baseball coach at Flagstaff High Josh Hughes found out, as he had to have a heart transplant on his 50th birthday.
The transplant was on the 3rd of April, and so we're just about 2.5 weeks from that. And it was good advice. One of the cardiologists said to us, just remember to measure progress in weeks and not days.
Hughes has a long road of recovery ahead. The family found temporary housing in Phoenix to be near the Mayo Clinic, where Josh will do his rehab. With their life uprooted and a long list of medical bills, the family needed support. Their dear friend Nicole Slane stepped in and started a GoFundMe for the Hughes family.
These people are so loved by their community that we're like, I think people are going to rally for the Hughes family and really make it happen. And right now we're at like $45,000.
Back on the Flagstaff field, the players are not only missing their coach, but one of them is missing his father, as Josh's son Luke is an infielder for the Eagles. What's just this whole experience kind of been like, and the perspective it's changed in your mind?
It's been super sobering. It becomes really clear like what really matters, and so it's easy to get caught up in like things that really don't matter and things that really have no consequence at all.
The Flagstaff community has rallied around the family in more ways than one. A teammate of Luke started up the Hearts for Hughes slogan that the team wears on their wrist on a daily basis, reminding them of what they're playing for this season.
Everyone's rallied. We got teams from the valley all over that have helped out with donations. Everyone here locally in town. We made our little banners, wristbands that Hearts for Hughes.
Luke and his father look forward to being back on the field together and spending time with one another again sometime soon. But until then, Josh only had these words for his son.
He says to Luke, I love you, I missed you, and I'm proud of you. And it's like, yeah, that's Josh in a nutshell. That's how he is as a dad. He loves being a dad. He loves baseball. He loves participating in that with Luke.
And of course, plans are already in place to hopefully give Josh a better 51st birthday.
I know. Hopefully a lot less stress than his 50th. But boy, that'll be a big one.
He's definitely looking forward to celebrating his 51st birthday in a much different way, Noelle.
Yes, so glad he's recovering well. Do you know his future plans as far as coaching baseball is concerned?
So it's a long road ahead for recovery, but he's looking forward to getting back out on the baseball field as soon as possible with his son.
Great story, Ethan.
There is no way that you can be taken seriously by today's student athletes if you don't have some sort of NIL program at your school.
Collegiate programs from all across the country are beginning to reap the benefits of having some of the nation's most elite level athletes. But with athletes able to profit off their name, image, and likeness, there's a new price to pay. Athletic programs need to establish NIL collectives that pool various revenue streams. Sun Angel Collective President Jeff Berg knows how hard it is to get a collective off the ground competing with the already highly funded schools.
When we started out with no website, not a whole lot of information out there, certainly no printed material, no executive director at that time. And so it was just us reaching out to our network and to try to encourage some initial folks to write some large checks so that we could get off the ground.
Those checks cleared, helping Sun Angel Collective get off the ground this past August. Ever since, the collective has helped a number of student athletes grow their personal brand. Board members decide how much money players will earn off of their respective deals.
We can have some conversations with coaching staff to get an understanding of where maybe needs are, but they can't really tell us, this athlete, I want to earn X dollars. So our board is really critical in making those determinations.
Some ASU student athletes have been able to set up NIL deals outside of the collective and are also pursuing endeavors on their own, something the collective encourages.
Athletes can go out and get their own NIL deals. They can create their own merchandise. If we're able to piggyback on that and help from our platform share what they have going on, we're happy to do so.
One student athlete on the football field is his own agent and has been taking advantage of his new opportunities both with the collective and outside it as well. Jalen Conyers is known for making touchdowns on the football field, but he also makes slam dunks in the NIL space.
I think that's one of the biggest things about NIL is for me, I have a podcast now on my website. I go to a bunch of events where I get to talk and see, kids, or I get to talk just about my experience with playing college football. So I think that's just one of the coolest things about it is just getting to do that and build my own brand.
Jalen has learned a lot about operating his own clothing line and website since it opened up last year. And as hard as it can be to find a deal, sometimes it can be just as hard to stay on top of managing it.
I think sometimes the hardest thing is just, being careful what you sign and stuff like contracts and stuff. Obviously, if you're working by yourself, if you're in that space of where you're working by yourself, and people can try to take advantage of you sometimes, whether that's they make you sign for way less than they were told or whatever. So I think for me, it's just about being careful and just, just establishing a relationship with whoever I am.
With millions of dollars already on the table for some young student athletes, Jalen just hopes that the coaching staffs and the athletes themselves remember the importance of earning it.
Some college in that mindset, hey, we're going to give you $10 million in the next 4 years if you commit here, instead of, hey, come see if you like the school and then come earn it and earn your money. So I think that's one of the biggest things is going to be a part of NIL is having to earn it.
With players more in control and brands making more investments in college athletes, experts project the NIL market to reach $1.4 billion in the next year. In Tempe, Ethan Tuttle, Cronkite News. Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ethan Tuttle here at TPC Scottsdale, home of the WM Phoenix Open. Well, earlier in the show we heard from A-Rod as well as Michael Phelps. Cronkite Sports reporter Ashley Engel caught up with some more celebrity golfers as well as a U.S. women's soccer great. Ashley?
Yes, Ethan, I was able to talk to U.S. women's soccer player Carly Lloyd.
There are many important events happening surrounding the Super Bowl this week, but there's one in specific highlighting women in the sports industry. Cronkite Sports reporter Olivia Eisenhower is at the red carpet with more.
A day of honors and celebration for women.
Well, that's it for this time on this Cronkite Sports Report. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio. Luke Potter is just a freshman on one of the best college golf teams in the country, but he's been ready to join ASU for a while now.
Pretty much offered him in 8th grade. Wasn't quite ready in 8th grade, and we understood that, so he waited until 9th grade and committed early in his 9th grade year. He wanted to at least be in high school.
Potter ended up winning the California High School State Championship later that season as just a freshman and was awarded California's Standout High School Athlete of the Year award. The last golfer to do that, Tiger Woods. Now at Arizona State, Potter is trying to do his part to help the team. In his first round at the Maui Gym Intercollegiate, he collected 7 birdies, helping the Sun Devils to their lowest team score in program history.
Something that Coach Thurman likes to preach is Sun Devils finish. So try and finish every round strong and end on a high note. In that first tournament, I was happy with the way I played, and our team did pretty good too.
So how does Potter sustain the incredible success he's had so far? Well, it starts right where it always has, with his preparation and practice habits on the golf course. Potter's mature mindset towards the game has always helped him stay one step ahead of the competition.
In terms of being a freshman, he really wasn't. His golf experience was beyond that.
As a 6th grader, he knew exactly what he did every day and what the performance standards he had were, how many balls for how long, or what distances. And it was kind of incredible, actually, more than you would ever see a college kid or even most pros be able to articulate.
They say that Luke Potter's practice habits vary in one way compared to the rest of the team. That's the size of his divots. He takes absolute chunks out of the ground when he's practicing his game on the range.
Something that he's known for is hitting a lot of golf balls. He gets so many lines of divots racked up right next to each other. He's a hard worker.
In the second half of the season and coming off of a 7-under career low round as a Sun Devil, Potter is feeling confident in his game and where he can take it the rest of the way.
It's the real deal, so I'm looking forward to it because I think the tougher it is for me, the better it is for my game and for our team.
In Tempe, Ethan Tuttle, Cronkite News.